Stage, Madison Lintz. Next up, we have Kylie Zamansky. Hi, how you doing? Good to see you again. Next up, we have Vince Ward. Is Vince out there? Is that okay? If anybody was at the VIP party, I know you saw this guy. You know what I'm talking about. Iron E. Singleton. Yo, Scott, can we have some dance music?
Give me some, Kylie. Yeah.
Hey, my man. Hey. Good to see you, man. How are you?
All right. I love you!
Yeah. Next up is Lou Temple.
Testing 1, 2. Lou, we were saying Lou, not boo. We were saying Lou.
Next up is everyone's one-legged farmer, Scott Wilson.
Positive. I was just informed by Mr. Lou Temple that Scott Wilson is not here at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He'll be here.
I'll be down.
This is my brother. I'm leaving my mustache wax to Herschel. Leaving my mustache too, unless Carl wants to use it.
I'm so slack, you guys. He's got one leg. It takes forever.
Right. It takes a little time.
Next up, if anybody heard the interview on WMMR that this gentleman was kind enough to do, the man with the soulful voice, Michael Rooker.
Had I known the finger would have gotten a standing O, I would have done it. How you doing?
And last but not least, Denai Guerrera.
Good Lord. five from right there tonight. Here. Boom.
Okay, what do you want?
All right. Hey, check this out. Check this out really quickly. Before we get started, I'd like to give a shout out, wish a special happy birthday to none other than Robin. Happy 16th. Along with this Wednesday coming up,
Keep it short.
your beautiful assistant, Laura. So happy birthday to you and everyone else that came in and told me it was their birthday. But I got a special birthday. Could you give a wave to everybody?
I'd like to
Say happy birthday on the count of three, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday!
No.
All right, thank you.
No.
Burrow's shutting down shop.
No happy birthday stuff, okay? Come on. Happy horny night for everyone.
All right, the way we'll do this is, please raise your hand if you have a question. Please be quiet so we can hear the question. It's hard to hear from up here, so please just let the person asking the question speak. And if you have a question, raise your hand. Right here. First question.
I have a question for tonight. I was just wondering if the writers told you how in the last episode you got that picture for Carl so quickly.
I could give you several answers for that, but the quick answer is that Michonne would never tell.
She'll never tell.
All right, who else has a question? Right here.
In your post of Apocalyptic Zombie, what would be your favorite weapon?
Mine would be Michonne.
Get him, Michonne, get him. That's a zombie, get it.
Although I will say this, I like to talk a lot and she doesn't, so it might be a fate
Keep it
worse
short,
than death.
man.
It might work out really well.
Fate worse than death, not talking.
I think Michonne's got a big long sword. I think she'd be good to have around.
Yeah. Whatever's closest. Don't care.
I like your
Question
sword,
right back
baby.
here.
Guy, mine is bigger than yours.
I know. Give her a couple glasses of wine. I like this girl.
All right, right here.
Thank you. Do I think she is? Is that your question? Yeah, I think thank you for that. I think the thing that is interesting about her is that she has connected to her self-reliance and to the idea, and really connected to her strength and to the idea that she is a victor. She can have victory over situations that look impossible, and to the idea that she doesn't need to please anybody. She's not interested in pleasing people. If it's not genuine to her, she's not going to engage it. And those are pretty cool things, I think, for women and girls even in our present society to absorb, and myself included. So I love that about her. You know, I think the good thing that's happening for her right now, though, is she's reconnecting to her heart, which I also think is a very powerful part of being a woman. You know, is to actually, you know, I think the power of being that connected to her instincts as a warrior, but then also being connected to her heart instincts can really make her quite mostly her absolute most powerful self. So I think that combination is something that we women can possess and can really rule the world with. Why not?
So, basically, to sum it up, women rock!
Yeah.
I love you. I don't have any beads either, do I?
Question in the front row here.
Question for you: with all the subject matter and you know, filming with the heat and you know, all the makeup and the dirt they throw on you, how do you guys, you know, unwind when you're not filming?
Question is, how do we unwind when we're not filming with all the dirt and makeup and all that kind of crap they put on us? That's by the way, that's called sexy dirt. We don't use real dirt. It's sexy dirt,
That's
sexy
K&B dirt.
stuff, you know, right? Is that
Green
what they
turtle
call it? That's
dirt.
what they call it, right?
Yeah, that's what it is, sexy dirt.
It makes us feel better.
Yeah, SD for sure.
I don't. Well, what do you do? I mean, I don't really.
I
I
just
go
go
and
home
sleep.
and lay
I go
down.
to sleep.
Get ready for the next day.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's beat. They wipe us out every day. You know, if you do a full day, 12-hour day out there in the woods with all the ticks and the chiggers and all that other crap running around, sweating all day long, you don't have time to wind. You don't have any energy to even wind down.
Sometimes I ride with Scott Wilson.
Yeah, oh, that helps.
Sometimes I like to take rides with him. In Georgia. He has a driver's license. He used to have a driver's license.
Well, he doesn't have one anymore in Georgia, right?
No. Now I have to drive. It's not as much fun. Although he is very proficient at yoga.
He is, yes he is.
He is a good yoga guy. Where is he?
Oh yes.
He's doing
He hasn't
yoga.
made it yet. He's still hobbling.
Scott might be doing what he does to unwind.
He's young.
Which is what I do to unwind a lot of times, and that's yoga.
Yeah, he yogas. Scott yogas a lot.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Question right here. With your hand up.
Michael, how much world is coming from you? How much influence from them? How the character, how he behaves?
I stick to the script. I don't know what you mean by that. I love all the writing and everything that I read. I just soak it in and it comes out Merle. Believe that? You believe that? I got a bridge for sale.
Okay, question in the back. Girl jumping up and down. The girl over here.
Yeah, do you have a question?
Love you.
Right here.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Do it.
Right here. Go ahead. Oh, wow.
What's your net worth? Skeptical that I would, but I'm curious that I might.
Okay, girl, all the way in the back that's jumping up and down. You, go. None.
What's that?
The last man standing? Thank you.
Who do we think is going to be the last man standing on that show? It certainly ain't going to be the head writer. We already lost 3 of those guys.
I had a question for the people
I'm
on
going to say
the
Tyrese.
I had a question for the people that are on the panel that have their characters been killed off. A, how did you find out? And B, what did that feel like?
Oh, what's that? I missed it. See, Lou was talking to me and what had happened.
I was asking for the people whose characters have been killed off. A, how did you find out that was going to happen? And B, what was your reaction?
We were...
Can we start with the girls?
Women rock!
So, about halfway through the season, or shooting the season, my bad, Miss Gail Ann Hurd called us and she told us that Sophia unfortunately was going to be in the barn. And I was just like all of y'all, I didn't even think of it. It was as shocking as all of you were. But every character is going to come to an end. And I didn't really want to be a zombie at first because the prosthetic makeup is a little bit gross, but it was totally worth it, and it's made me an actor stronger actor. I found out because I was just there and I didn't have a script. So I was just there and then they just said, you know, you're gonna come out and then Michonne's about to kill you and then the governor's gonna come in, try to stop her, then you're gonna get stabbed in the head. You know.
So it's Michonne's fault.
She's always sticking things into things.
I was gonna help her when I thought she was alive, you know, just for the record.
Well, I actually found out. I read the script, so read the script. It was my fault. You know, you usually get a call about it, but the script was just sitting there in the makeup room, and I picked it up and I said, "Oscar dies." And I mean, I was sad. The hardest thing about it is, say if you get killed on a Tuesday, you have to come to work Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But you still got to give 100% to your fellow actors and actresses and stuff. So even though you know you're gonna die, it's been a cool run. So that's what it is.
But you know what? Those letdowns were a lot more thoughtful and gentle than mine, because I was at the premiere and it was right before I did an interview with E.T. Entertainment Tonight. And they were like, "How do you like playing the character of T-Dog?" I was like, "Well," and Glenn walked behind me. He said, "By the way, your character's about to die." So next time. Wow. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It did not happen like that. No, I got the call maybe a month in advance, and Glenn and I were playing phone tag. He called me. Didn't leave a message. So I called him back. "I'm returning your phone call." Okay, I left it at that. He called me back. "I need to talk to you, Ernie." No message. Dun. Whenever I don't get a message, I know there's something not good. So I called him back, left a message. He called me right back. He called me. I said, "Darn it, you called me. I mean, what is it?" So he was like, "Unfortunately, we're going to have to kill T-Dog off." So... Where's that Price is Right music when you need it? Something like that.
Hey, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
When he got killed off, that was probably one of the saddest days I ever seen on a set, because this man is loved by so many people and respected by so many people that we all cried when it happened. That's real talk.
I can't say anything now. Thank you. I love you, brother. I appreciate it. I love all of them, though, but it was... that was the saddest thing. Well, I've said in interviews, the saddest moment was actually leaving all of these beautiful people here. And it wasn't the character T-Dog. It was like, okay, I enjoyed playing T-Dog, but I couldn't see these beautiful faces anymore. I couldn't go in and shake their hands, get hugs, kisses, and all that stuff. So I was really heartbroken about that. Yeah. So, yeah. That was a big disappointment.
Yeah, right on. Good job, bro.
I did, yes, several. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, I love Rooker.
Hey, I'm the only actor here that was at his party. I tell you that right now.
You know what? I'll tell you this. Rooker's the man. I will love him for life. What happened was I had a premiere, I had a screening, and it was at the New York Comic Con. He had just gotten back from Comic Con, and he got off the airplane. I know he was exhausted, because you get really tired, you're getting all the love from people and everything. He got off the air, he got to the airport, he came directly to my house, which is like an hour or an hour and a half away from the airport. Now I'll never forget that. I am truly indebted to Rooker for life. That was love right there. Yes. I love that man. And all you guys.
And I gotta tell you what, he's got a really nice house, man. It's got, you can climb.
that.
You gotta fix that wall though, dude.
Hey, on the wall. He's climbing the wall like Spider-Man. He's climbing my wall like, get down, Rooker, what are you doing? Oh my God.
I'm just letting him know that, I can get up to your third floor window, not a problem at all, man.
Oh,
Just imagine what Michelle could do.
I'm just saying.
All that cliffhanger work I did.
I was treated very well production-wise. They called me in 3 weeks in advance. Glenn did, and he said, "Man, Axel's going to take a bullet in the head." And I'm like, "Whoa, you want to take that down a notch? Hey." And then you do the appeal dance. Well, what about that guy Alan? He seems like he's a real asshole. Let's take him out, you do that, and the die's been cast. So then you start to figure out, well, all right, But they actually invited me in production and the writers to help build the episode and how I was going to go, and we decided that it should be a real gut punch, which hopefully we were able to pull that off. And it was really, I actually couldn't have asked to go out a better way, that it was that type of a gut punch, that we had a sense of peacefulness prior to, that Axel was there to maybe offer some service in the common good of protecting Carol. I did think it was strange that every bullet that missed Rick, every bullet that was shot at Axel laying dead was, seemed to hit him. But that was part of the human shield process. That's all right. So, you know, when you go, though, it's true, because what Vincent says is because, and then Glenn had asked me not to say anything to the cast till he could visit with them, and then finally they get the word, and then it's like, oh, dude, and you're like, yeah, I know, but you know what? It was me or you. Just think of it that way, Beth. Think of it that way, Carol, Carl, Herschel, Alan. But I'm so happy and grateful to have been part of it and to continue to be part of it, clearly, as you do. But I would say that I'm most disappointed for Axel. I mean, I'm going to go on and get to do some really cool stuff, but I felt like Axel had a lot left to do and to offer, and we were just getting to know him. So I was bummed for him, man.
Yeah.
You died.
And plus when you sign up, you sort of know how many episodes you're gonna do anyways. You just don't want to think about, okay, it's getting close to that time. Hopefully they might change their mind, but it happens.
Is that what happens? Like, do they tell you you're going to be in so many episodes, like when they sign on?
No,
No?
it's always a surprise. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I was told initially I had only 2 episodes.
Wow.
And I ended up going 3 seasons. So.
Wow.
Hey, right on, but dude, for me it was like, I think I got 2 episodes in this thing. Yeah, I got 2 episodes. We did, what did we do that first season? 3? And then I was gone for a whole,
All season
2, and then came back, and then I'm back in season 3, so.
Okay. Question in the back. Oh, go ahead. No, girl all the way in the back that was standing up? Yeah.
Make it loud, baby. Louder, baby.
Did anybody hear that?
How do the actors prepare for the real?
How do you prepare for emotional death like Lori's death?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question was, how do you prepare for an emotional death like Lori's death? Okay.
How do the other actors prepare? What do you mean? Well,
We're supposed to prepare?
we don't prepare for that shit, man. And we're supposed to, that's supposed to be a surprise to us, so we don't worry about that. As it happens, on the day it happens, that's when you react.
Question right here.
I'm just curious, for Michael Rooker, you have that thing on your dominant hand. How hard was it to get used to having no use of that? I would have clunked myself in the head 16 times.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, of course I did. I have no dominant hand. Both hands are dominant. Both eyes are dominant. I had hell playing. Oh God, you should have seen me in school. Both eyes are dominant. They're fighting each other all the time. You should see me. I have 2 dominant hands.
Sound like Chuck Norris.
No, I gotta tie them down every now and then. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
But he was very committed with that thing. I mean, he would take it off and he'd have bruises on his hand and he wouldn't care. He wouldn't complain.
God. That thing.
And it looked like, dang, that looks painful. Yeah.
It is.
But he didn't say anything. He just kept going with it.
Yeah, honey. She's right. It is a painful little bugger. and you have it on there all day long. So you know, every now and then you try to get it off, get some air in there, and relax and stretch your arm out, your hands. But yeah, it's if it were cold in Atlanta, that would be nice. I wouldn't mind wearing it.
We never wave at Michael Rooker because that would just be showing off.
Question right here.
For the young ladies, when I was growing up, many of us, zombies were not as popular as today. There are a few good movies that didn't have to do something like that. How do you feel about zombies being so popular? And how do you feel about still being part of that culture?
Certainly an honor. There's been a lot of phases. There's been vampires, there's been werewolves, and then there's zombies. And I have a feeling zombies aren't going to be just a phase. It's going to be a culture. Yeah. I guess. It's not going to come and go like a lot of phases like vampires. I think zombies are going to be here for a while. And I'm glad to be part of it.
I think that it's really cool because lots of the other phases like come and go, like vampires, ghosts, werewolves, thank you, ghosts, demons, prisoners. But now, right now, zombies are taking over, so they can make as many of those other phase movies as they run, but zombies rock.
I don't like them myself. I would rather just kill them off.
Question right here. Right here.
Oh, this is for the younger ones. Are your parents on this set, and if they are, do they put any restrictions on you on certain parts of the screenplays?
Okay, the question for those that didn't hear was, for the girls, are their parents on the set and are they given any restrictions on the screenplays?
My mom always would read the script first, just in case there's like just bad things in there, and I'd always be itching to read it too because every time a script comes out, we're all just like when's it gonna come out? And so there wasn't exactly a time where my mom would restrict me because time didn't come for that, but I think if there were something to come up, if Sophia were to have lived, that she would need to put a restriction on, she would talk to the producers about it, but she died, so. Oh well.
So there weren't that many really restrictions for me because I didn't really get a script. But they kind of told me right when I got there. But I think AMC handled most of the restrictions. Like when Penny ran out of the cage, they used Savannah to do that so that I wouldn't hurt my neck because I think I'm too young to do stunts. So that was like the only restriction.
Thank you!
Who else has a question? Over here on the wall.
This is for Michael. What do you say about the Bears?
You already know that answer. Fuck the Bears. Okay, that's $6 I owe you.
Actually, it's 8.
You weren't even there when I said those
Crack
other
it
words.
down.
You're on the microphone. You can hear it.
Hustle him, honey.
God, I'm gonna lose all my money here.
Guys, just so you know, there's a few seats open up here for people standing in the back if you want to come up. Get comfortable. Right here?
Step right.
What was the question?
Did any of you audition for a part and get something else?
Yes. Let me step right up on this one. The answer is yes, absolutely. I auditioned. My very first shot at The Walking Dead It's for a character named Merle. And thankfully they hired Michael Rooker. But then they brought me in for a character they didn't even have a name for yet, but it was Merle's brother. And they didn't even have dialogue written for Merle's brother, so you would come in and do Merle's dialogue for Merle's brother. So it was confusing. I'm like, well, are they twins? Are they, you want me to say the same things I said last week? Or okay. And then finally, and thankfully they hired Norman Reedus. My God. Yeah, that was second season. So finally the third season, I guess they found something for me to get rid of.
Yeah, that does happen.
And you know, I think that, it happened in the second season. First season, we didn't know the show was going to be such a phenomenon like it is now. I auditioned for T-Dog, The Walking Dead. So I knew exactly who my character was first season. Then the show just took off. And then they started doing that, tricking people and stuff like that. So,
yeah, because I was the one that got tricked.
You got tricked too?
My character name was Mouse.
Mouse?
But when I got to the set, somebody else's character's name was Mouse. Big Tiny. I know y'all remember Big Tiny. So yeah, sometimes they try to cover a lot of things, but once we signed that contract, I ain't saying nothing. I think the hardest part to this job is getting a job and not saying anything for like 4 months until the show comes out. So that was really hard for me.
Yeah, my process was interesting. I knew I was auditioning for Michonne, but she wasn't called Michonne because it was such a top secret that they were even auditioning a Michonne. So she was called Lily. And on the page of the sides, she was called Lily. And on my contract, she's called Lily, because they were trying to really keep it locked down, because they did not want it known that anyone was auditioning for Michonne. And so even it was like a month-long process of auditioning, and even during that time, it was like, you're not allowed to say that you're auditioning for this woman. So yeah, it was pretty locked down.
I forgot to mention I also went in for Lily.
I saw you at the
Might have been Tiger Lily.
Okay, my good friend in the front row.
Yes. I'd just like to take the opportunity to commend the wonderful show, Walking Dead. For you guys to keep outdoing yourself each time. I had the pleasure of meeting you a year and a half to 2 years ago. You guys have got better. Your extended family, you see all the love here you get in Monster Mania. I'm telling you, I'm so excited for you guys, because if people have been reading, you guys are making unparalleled achievement for a TV show that's on cable. Do you know last week and the week before you guys passed the regular networks? You're like the #1 show on Sunday night at 9 o'clock slot. And I just say to you, I know you guys, and I was hoping y'all could share with us, have you heard any inside information about actors who may be A-list or legendary actors who are also trying to bid to get parts on your show? Because I was out in California and everybody's talking about it. They wish they could do a zombie role. So can you share that with us? If any of the names, any of the well-known actors that might have...
You don't need him. Michael Rooker, he's already on the show.
Yeah! Scott Wilson.
Yeah. Wilson.
No, what I meant is Michael and Scott Wilson, they're legendary. We know about them. But I'm just saying, I thought there might be some... Because I understand there might be other actors that didn't make it, and I was hoping y'all could share that with us.
Yeah, Tom Cruise was turned down.
And Eddie Murphy.
Al Pacino, I think Al was up for it, but...
Tyler Perry.
Sly, I heard Sly came in the other day. They wouldn't even let him in the door.
We knew, we still couldn't tell you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It means a lot.
Okay, question right here.
My question is to Mr. Rooker. From the first season 1, how do you think your influence on the audience of The Walking Dead changed after you reappeared in season 3?
Good question. I think Merle's influence on the audience happened quite quickly. the very moment I was on that rooftop shooting heads off zombies, you realize this cat has issues. It's so true. And, you know, everybody's like, Merle is such a bigot and racist. And you know what? I debate with people all the time because I tell them, you know, that day when Merle's out there shooting heads off zombies, it did not matter one little bit if it were a black man, yellow man, green man, or purple man that came up there and told them to stop. They were going to get their asses kicked. And that was what it was. You know, it could have been anybody. It could have been the little kid with the hat on. Hell, Merle would have gotten out there and kicked him in the face. Get out of my way, little boy. So anyway, from that moment, the first episode, it was like, who is this disgustingly bigot, cliche racist Merle Dixon guy, right? And I had Twitters and texts from my southern kin, and people went like, such a cliche, Rooker, come on, you're better than this. And I'm like, And then the next episode, they had to eat their words. You know, in the next episode, when I did the monologue on top of the roof, before I cut my hand off, everybody ate their words. Because that 4.5 minutes kicked ass.
Brilliant.
And Frank Darabont, thank you. And from then on, you knew Merle was coming back. You just didn't know when. And everything that Merle became the boogeyman. Everything that happened, Merle did it. Revenge. Merle led the zombies up for that first zombie raid. Yeah. Merle shot the little kid. Oh, yes. You know, all this stuff. And then, of course, actually, when you think about it, Merle saved T-Dog. Oh, yeah, my drugs saved your little kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My little stash.
Merle did it all.
Hey, I got the good stuff. Anyway, yeah, so I think this character's had quite an influence on the audience, and that's why by the time I came back in the third season, it was quite anticipated.
Well anticipated.
Yeah. We've had fun with this last season. Oh, God, yeah. Thank you. Good question.
Right here.
One time he invited me out to go fishing, that son of a bitch, and he told me to meet him at the pier with the bait, and I spent the last $10 in my low pocket, and that sorry son of a bitch never did meet me. I couldn't go to the bar and drink. Last $10 I had, you know that cocksucker never lent me any money.
Right on.
Put that on Merle's tab.
Okay, right here.
All right, man. We love this stuff.
Okay, in the back here. Go ahead. The girl with both arms up in the air.
Yeah, baby. What you want? Holler at me, hon. I can't hear you. Oh, honey. You don't know Merle by now. Merle's on Merle's side.
Question over here. Good.
Was any of you a fan of the comics before the show came out?
Well, I read the comics, but I had known about the comics, but I hadn't read them. And when I was getting involved with getting cast for the show, I ended up reading the comics. You know, the compendium. I read that, and And I'm like, dude, I don't see this guy in here. I read this whole damn thing. What the hell? There ain't no Merle in here. And yeah, so Merle and Daryl aren't in the comics, and so all the reading I did was for nothing. No, I couldn't put them down, actually. I really enjoy them, and I still read them quite regularly. Thank you.
I started reading them after I got cast, and then I had to stop because I got confused. I started to be like, wait, did that happen in the show or in the comics? I gotta put this down.
Honestly, I had never even heard of The Walking Dead. 2 years ago, a friend of mine, I ain't never pleaded for my life, watch out. 2 years ago, a friend of mine said, you should be on this show called The Walking Dead. I said, what is The Walking Dead? She said, it's about zombies. I said, why would I want to be on a show about zombies? Look what happened. We had been filming, I think it was on our 4th episode, and then the marathon came on, and that's when I finally watched season 1 and 2. So I never even knew about it, but I'm glad and I'm blessed and I'm honored to be here, being a part of this, and being a part of all of y'all. Thank you.
Right on, right on.
I have a question for the whole cast. I was wondering if you guys watch the show after you're done filming it, like on a regular basis, or if you do not.
Yes, no.
Absolutely.
The Walking Dead is my favorite show. Yeah, like I said, if I were never a part of the show, I still would have been a fan of it, I have to catch up, though. I've been away. I haven't had AMC for the past 4 weeks since the second half of season 3 began, so I have to catch up. So don't tell me.
We don't have AMC on this hotel.
Don't tell me. Is here? We have it here?
We do not.
We do not. We do not have AMC.
Well, I'm like, where the hell am I going to watch the show? I watch the show every Sunday. I try to if I'm not on the road. And, dude, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
What's your address?
And I tell you, when I'm watching, I'm going like, what?
But we don't see it before
Don't
y'all.
do that.
In other words, we see it on Sunday night. I don't think, do you see it at dailies or anything?
No. I mean, sometimes when we're still shooting and, we're close to the end of shooting, they start to show us episodes that haven't aired on television yet, but it's like after work, they'll put them up in the studio, and then you can come and watch them if you want to. And it really depends for me on where I am in my own process. If I want to go back versus where, my character's been, she has an arc, so sometimes I don't want to see where she was back then because I'm where she is now. So it really just depends, and, various other reasons for me, but I tend to catch up eventually. I'll get the urge, I'm like, okay, I want to watch it now. But it won't necessarily be the night that it's airing, Like I haven't watched the last episode yet, but I will. Just when it hits
And a lot of y'all, you're on the East Coast. Some of us that live on the West Coast, you're seeing it 3 hours before us. All of a sudden, we're getting Twitters and like, oh,
I
shit.
know, dude. I gotta watch my mouth. Because I watch it early. If I'm in LA, I watch it early. I watch the New York show, the East Coast showing. And then I gotta really be careful when I tweet or Facebook or anything, because I learned my lesson. One time I started going, what, I can't believe they did that shit. What the, okay, $9. And you just gotta watch yourself, But I watch it, man.
And then sometimes you be your toughest critic too. You watch yourself and be like, oh man, they gonna think I sucked on that part.
I never do that. I never do that.
Let's not dive on that grenade.
I used to do that. Early on when I started acting, I'd watch something, I go, why did I do that?
Why did you pick that?
Sucked. Are you kidding me? Why did I listen to that stupid ass director? Until I learned not to listen to their stupid asses. And I just look at it and I go, yeah, fine, okay.
Okay, right here.
I had trained, I'd done a lot of pseudo martial arts, quasi martial arts, in my living room with Billy Blanks. Billy he just makes it, you know, he makes it easy. But typo, exactly. Typo.
That's a dance.
But no, he ain't dancing. He's a martial arts expert. But you know, as I said, it was quasi. But then I did a lot of broadsword in grad school. But the broadsword is nothing like the katana. So I had some sword form, but it was so different. The broadsword is such a wimp compared to the katana. You know? Yeah. I mean, the Brits, sorry guys, but the Japanese rule. I'm sorry. So once I got
different
the role,
purposes.
Whatever, trying to kill people. It's not where it works a lot more beautifully with the katana. So yeah, so basically, and they were actually created around the exact same time, which is very interesting, just coincidentally, back in the same, like, 14th, 15th century. But, so then I started to train with it after I got the job, and it was extremely intense training, and I still train with it, and I had a few trainers, some in LA, and then a couple in Atlanta. There's actually a guy who's been doing it since he was 8, and he's Japanese, and he's in Atlanta, so he was who I was working with while I was doing some stuff there. But yeah, it was extremely intense and very, very different from the other sword training I had done, but it was the best stuff. It's just awesome stuff. I love it.
It's crazy because she has like her own studio to train, and like, whoa, when she was first coming in, it's like, who's in there? What are they building in there? And you hear all this instruction, and then we had no idea what was going on. And finally, we met Denai, and she was just
realized it was you.
Just beat up after every one of these training sessions, which were like 3 weeks. It was like,
and then there would be this music. I was kung fu fighting.
Anyway, she works incredibly hard at it and makes it look easy, but she busts her butt to make it look easy for y'all.
Yeah, it looks cool. Good stuff.
Thank you, guys.
But just remember, old Merle's the only one's ever taken it away from her before.
It was very momentary. He got fixed for that, literally. He got fixed.
Okay, the guy in the red shirt.
He had to go find his stuff.
I mean, I was kind of disappointed because it'd be really fun to develop Sophia more, but I think Sophia dying was best for the show, and I don't read the comics. I really want to. I'm probably gonna go home and start reading them, because when I was 10, I wasn't allowed to read them. I'd be sitting with my mom and she'd be like, all right, skip this page, and this page, and this page. You can read half of this page, but skip the next 2. And I'd be like, well, what's happening? And I think I'm old enough to read them now. So I'm going to. And I'll get to see what Sophia's doing in the comics.
Okay. Girl, all the way in the back.
She said after filming all day, do you ever go home and feel yourself acting like your character?
Who?
Any of us.
Oh, any of us? No. Are you crazy? What makes you think that?
I mean, I guess I kind of did, but on the day that I died, because I came home and I'm like, whoa, I just died. Wait, like, what's even happening?
I feel dead.
I know, I was thinking, like, me and Penny were both thinking kind of like, wait, did I just die?
I think by the time you get home, you'd be so tired.
Yeah.
You know, you just be ready to go to sleep. If anything, you might be thinking about your lines for the next day. That's about it. And what time you got to get up and get to the set the next day.
You know, there is spillover sometimes when you've done roles for well, it's 3 seasons now, or 2 seasons, or even 1 season, 7 months. You know, any actor, you know, sort of, you develop these characteristics for certain characters, and sometimes every now and then you find yourself eating with your hands. So, yeah, it spills over.
But most of the times when I go home, I'm thinking about sleep. Sleep is a beautiful thing. You're beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. Girl, all the way in the back row. Yeah.
Yes, because I'm a big horror fan. But I never really started watching the show until I found out that I got casted into it, because I was gonna start watching it when it came out, but then we were afraid that we were gonna get too hooked on it. And then when it got into the middle of the season, we were like, we were gonna start watching it, but then it was already in the middle of the season, so we couldn't. So we decided, we're just gonna wait until a marathon comes on. And then I got casted, so then I started watching the show, and it's amazing. And even though I died, I still love the show.
Honey, you really didn't die. It's okay.
It's okay. I know, but I mainly started watching it so I could see my character, and then I got hooked on it.
Okay, we're going to take a few more questions. Right here in the middle.
Merle and Michonne already have a relationship. You can see it if you watch closely.
Over here.
She turned me down. Sad.
With the yellow shirt.
Poor Merle. No action whatsoever on that show. I know.
Say that again.
Most challenging scene for who?
For me, probably during the hair brushing scene, and and the roast beef, the flesh was roast beef, and it was pretty good, but But then again, it had food dye on it, and I kept on having to spit it out because it got too full, and I was just sitting there, and I had a bag over my head, so that was kind of tough.
Oh God, you know what I like to do at the end of these things, Mr. Moderator, is get about 10 or 15 questions, real quick ones, and everybody just answer real fast, just
Okay,
a little
that sounds great.
2 or 3 word answer. That's so much fun. You want to try it?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
All right, Chris.
With how big the show has gotten, any talk of a feature-length movie?
No.
Yes. Maybe.
Not just.
Yes.
Right here in the cowboy hat.
Are you satisfied, hon?
Yes, I'm seeing the entire picture as I can see it, which you guys can't fully see yet. Yes.
I'm satisfied. I don't think I'd change a damn thing.
Okay. Right here.
He sucks. Next.
Over here. Go ahead. You had your hand raised. Ask a question. You.
What?
What? Okay.
Louder, hon. Louder, brother. Because you're such a badass, how do you play that role, Mama?
How do we play the role or at home?
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, give it up for the one and only Scott Woo!
See, it took him a while with that bad leg.
So your question, honey, was how do we play the roles of Merle and Michonne because they're badass? Is that what your question was? Really, I mean, it was, to me, I mean, I think we both, have some aspects. I have a tough girl in me and he has, I don't know what that is in him. So, I think there's kind of that aspect of us naturally, but there's, also really connecting to the circumstances of the character, and who they are, what they've been through, I think really allows you to see the world through their eyes. And in that regard, at least I can say for Michonne and I'm probably Merle as well, they don't imagine themselves ever losing a situation. And when you think of yourself as always someone who's always going to get where you need to go, and you're actually going to, conquer the thing in front of you, it kind of just it develops a certain level of intensity, I think. But
and
really,
also, you know what? You got to go with what the script says. Usually, the script gives you all your basic givens, and then you go from there. And a lot of it starts off with how would I do this if this were me, And basically, I'm a badass sometimes.
Since
Really, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice person, right?
Of course you are.